Hello everyone, welcome to another lesson on IELTS academic grading. This is lesson number 28 and we came so far talking about different topics, and in this one we are going to talk about useful words that are specifically for task 2, and among the variety of different types of useful words we are specifically focusing on adjectives. So adjectives obviously are the kind of words that describe other activities or words or events. And the reason that we are going through to talk about adjectives, because in task 2 specifically, you are asked to describe a problem or argue about a point of view or provide pros and cons. And if you can imagine all of these different topics in task 2, you need to have good variety of different adjectives to be able to describe those topics. And that's what we are doing in this lesson. So we are going to go through different types of task 2 topics, and we are going to talk about useful adjectives to know and be able to use them, and we provide examples for that. So with that, let's go talk about different types of task 2. First one is problems. So it is very common that in task 2 you will need to describe a problem. So I wrote down problems here, and first word or first adjectives that we want to show examples is serious or significant. You can choose these or use this interchangeably. So example would be poverty is a serious global issue that affects millions of people. So let me highlight here. So you can use either, let me change the color, either serious or significant here. And you can tell what would be the topic for this kind of sentence. The topic is to describe if poverty, what are the effects of poverty, and so on and so forth. Another one is complex. Another adjective that is good to know is complex. So the issue of climate change is complex, comma, with both environmental and economic challenges or implications. So again, we choose the topics that is common in IELTS academic grading. So climate change is another one that is very commonly brought up in the task 2, and the word that we chose here is complex. I'm not going to highlight the future words, but you get the idea. We just want to provide some examples, and again, best is to practice at home. Take these words and try to come up with sentences that is true to your own point of view, and provide the different types of examples and sentences. So another one is controversial. This is something, that is the topic of controversy. There's a lot of discussion about it and arguments. The use of genetically modified organisms, in parentheses, GMO, in food is a controversial topic. End of sentence. Another one is widespread or prevalent. So the sentence for it would be gender inequality is a widespread problem that persists in many societies. Another one is urgent. So, for example, addressing the growing refugee crisis. Crisis is an urgent humanitarian matter or humanitarian issue. Another one is negative. Let me write negative. So air pollution has a significant negative impact on general public health, and so on. So as you can see, these are all more or less adjectives with negative connotations, meaning they have like a sort of negative meaning behind it. Not necessarily, for example, widespread or prevalent doesn't have it. But because we are describing problems, we have to sort of use these adjectives to be able to describe these problems truthfully. So that's why we went with these adjectives. One good practice is, as you can see, like there are different topics. So, for example, climate change, refugee crisis, gender inequality, so air pollution, these kind of things. So try to use different words for these topics. So, for example, controversial for let's choose a different color. For example, choose the word controversial. Choose the word controversial in this topic, or choose the use the words widespread in the sort of refugee crisis, or in the GMO topic. So try to interchange these words and topics to come up with your own sentences, and that will help you to sort of master using these words. So next, we talked about the problems. Next one, let's talk about the solutions. So it is very common, again, that you would be asked to provide some sort of solution for these problems that you might describe. So let's practice those as well. So first one is effective. So vaccination programs have been an effective tool in combating infectious diseases. Infectious diseases. Another one is practical or pragmatic or feasible. So example would be investing in renewable energy is a practical solution to reduce our carbon footprint, for example, or to reduce our reliance on fossil fuel. And sustainable, this is again some on the topic of climate change. So sustainable farming practices such as organic farming, can help protect the environment. Okay, let me highlight again the important words. Effective, here we use it as a sort of efficient tool to combat infectious diseases. Feasible is when you want to provide, or practical when you want to provide a solution that works, you know that it works. And sustainable, for climate change, you want to provide sustainable solution that lasts different threats or last through time. Another word that is useful is beneficial. Access to education has numerous beneficial effects on individuals and society, or society as a whole. And on the solution side, the last word would be innovative. So innovative technologies have the potential to transform healthcare systems, or healthcare systems. Let's go with that. Okay, let's highlight again. Beneficial effects and innovative technologies. And again, try to use same tactic. Essentially, try to use innovative in this topic, that is education, and beneficial in the topic of healthcare. And do the same thing for these words as well. So for effective, for renewable energy or climate change, and sustainable, use the sustainable for healthcare, for example. Try to come up with an example that kind of makes sense to you. That way you'll remember these words a lot better when it comes to your exam time. Okay, so we covered the problem and solution. And lastly, you need to provide opinions as well in task 2. And we are going through few examples for the opinions as well. Again, you might be asked to provide your own opinion, and you need to be able to be very coherent in your answer. So what would be some examples? So for example, these are generic adjectives, but you can use them more effectively in your arguments. So important, crucial, and vital. And good example would be, it is crucial to address the root causes of problem X, but let's say like poverty or pollution or refugee crisis, whatever that would be. This word can be changing, but like in this sentence, honestly, let's highlight this whole entire sentence. This is very likely that you can use this exact sentence in your task 2, because you can open essentially your paragraph, your solution paragraph, with this sentence, and that gives a very strong foundation to your paragraph. Another one is persuasive or convincing. So the author presents a persuasive argument in favor of something, in favor of environmental regulations. And you can come up with your own sentences. You can, for example, say, in my opinion, the argument regarding something like climate change is not persuasive enough or is not convincing enough. And I think because of this and that, we can make it better, make those arguments better, and make it more persuasive. Another one is relevant. This study, or there are studies that provides relevant insights into the challenges facing urban education system. So we can sort of replace this study with there are studies that provide relevant insights and so on. And this would be a sentence that, again, you can use for any sort of topic. It doesn't have to be urban education. There are studies that have that provide relevant insights into infectious diseases or climate change or urban life, whatever that is. And lastly, among these adjectives that we're talking, is valid. So while there are valid concerns about artificial intelligence, it also has the potential for great benefit to humanity or something like that, for great benefit. And you can imagine the kind of question that this sentence is written for. So provide 2 points of view, provide point A and provide point B, and come up with your answer, which one you prefer. So when you want to provide 2 points of view, you can start or end your paragraph. This would be your concluding paragraph, that while there are valid concerns about subject X, it also has the potential for great benefit. Obviously, you can change these sentences, but you get the idea that these kind of structure and words, you can use them interchangeably, but it's very important that you be able to easily use these words and make your writing a lot stronger. So yeah, that's it for today. Hopefully you liked it, and see you in the next one. Cheers.